I don't know how loud that's going to be. Oh, there it is. You can definitely tell it's been a minute since I've been in studio doing this. There we go. All right. Put that on loop. Beautiful. Perfect. Make sure it's going out to everywhere it needs to go. Let me see here. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure that everything's going to where it's supposed to at the moment. Okay. Weird. Okay. We're doing a thing. All right. What's up, everybody? How we doing? How's everybody doing tonight? So, I put some. I don't know if you guys can see it. I see there's one person watching, but I put a link in the description or in the chat here. If you are interested in coming up to discuss what we're going to be talking about, come on up. This is open forum. We're going to go back to our roots here. So, tonight's topic, or what I want to talk about tonight, is something that, well, let's be honest, we've all seen. We've all seen this time and time again over the past couple weeks, and it's a series that, to be honest, I haven't talked about in a while, and I think it's time. I think it's time to get back to it. I think it's time. I think the time is right, and that topic is death. I know some of you. I should probably put that banner up. Let me see here. Let me create that banner. Sensitive subject. Cool. I'm just gonna do that. Just gonna do that. Okay. That's what it's gonna be. There we go. Oh, but anyway, like I said, folks, tonight's topic is going to be death. It is going to be death, and it's like I said, it's just been so long since we really talked about it. I see Aaron Wings watching. What's up, Aaron? From Nationwide Paranormal. What's up, brother? Long time no see. Oh, I still no see. I see your comment, but I don't see you. So, so tonight we are going to talk about death. Obviously, for those of you who know, I've recently been to Kentucky to say goodbye to our brother Raymond, but also say hello to his family. We've all seen it all over Facebook. We've seen it at Global Ghost Hunt. We've seen it in Parapost. We've seen it literally everywhere. It still hurts. It still hurts. But we're going to get back to it. We are going to have some fun because let's be honest, folks, that's what I think Raymond would want. Raymond would want us to move on and keep going. I'm going to put the link again just in case, because I see it didn't go to everywhere. Hold on a second. It's not going to, I don't know what's going on. There we go. It's not going to my, okay, it's not going to my Facebook. I don't understand. But yeah, so we just we're dealing with that right now. I know the family has been really, obviously heartbroken, but they're still doing pretty well. I try to keep in contact with them fairly often, as much as I can, of course. But still, and I actually counted. I don't know why, what made me want to count this, but I counted, and in the past 2 weeks or so, there has been at least 11 people that have passed away in just these past 2 weeks. That's a lot of people. my sympathy, my love, and my condolences do go out to their families. I know our brother Scott, Mr. Fedora, he's dealing with a death as well. Um, it sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It sucks. I don't mean to. I'm not trying to laugh about this. It's a way to deal with it. It's a way to cope. A lot of people are afraid of this topic. I know a lot of hosts kind of shy away from talking about this. Y'all know me by now. I'm not. First of all, I don't know how many of you watching out there are in the paranormal community or not, but one thing that's personally helped me through all of this is the understanding that this life isn't the end. This isn't the end all to end all. I mean, some of you may be skeptics, which is fine. You're allowed to have your own thoughts and your own opinions. But to be honest with you, in the paranormal, we know there's something else. There's something else out there. Otherwise, who are we talking to? Who are we talking to when we go out? I see some more people joining. What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? Please leave a comment if you want, or the link is in the description. If you want to come up, say hi, hang out, give your thoughts. Come on up. No big deal. This is an open forum. This is open for anybody. And I keep looking over this, guys, by the way, because my other monitor's here, and I'm making sure that looks good. And I'm frozen on my end for some reason. I don't know why. Huh. Anyway. Tanner. Mm-hmm. That's the answer to everything. It's aliens. But a lot of people shy away from death, and I don't know why. I really don't. It's a part of life. We live to die. One thing that has helped me, like I said, is number one, I know for a fact that there is something else out there. Once we pass from this realm, this existence, there's something else. I know, again, some of you may be like skeptical about it, but let's look at the science of it. The science of it is energy cannot be destroyed. That's a proven fact. And I know you might seem like I'm rambling. Just stick with me on this. But what is our being? What is our consciousness? We have electrical, we have energy, we have some kind of energetic pulse throughout our whole body. That's what makes us us. Some obviously more than others. Science has already proven that energy cannot be destroyed. So, where would that go? Where does that go? Me? Who knows? I don't know what happens. I won't sit here and claim I know what happens. And I don't know any paranormal investigator on Global Ghost Hunt, Parapost, or anywhere that will sit there and tell you any different, that we know 100% what happens for all certain. I mean, I don't care what religion you are. Something happens. Whether you go to heaven, whether you go to hell, whether you go to nirvana, I don't know. Whatever you believe, what happens after death, something happens. To me, death is something that should honestly be celebrated. Yeah, it sucks. Trust me, it sucks. You guys will see. I think Brian and I, Mr. and I, talked about the next couple days. Next couple days, you guys will be understanding what I'm about to say. Something happened today that was really hard for me. Very difficult. It's very difficult for me to do. This was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done as a consultant. I did another video. You guys will see what I mean. And it was difficult. I don't know why this one was, but this one was. But the one thing that got me through it was that understanding that obviously there's something else. There's something else. And to be completely honest, folks, whether you believe in heaven or hell or whatever, think of it this way. That individual doesn't have to deal with the BS that we deal with on a daily basis. They don't. They don't have to deal with bills. They don't have to deal with money issues. They don't have to deal with illness. They don't have to deal with the crap that we deal with on a daily basis. They really don't. They don't have to deal with that anymore. And to me, that's better. I like that. I like thinking that. There's 12 comments. What? Hold on. Holy crap! You guys are tearing up. I can't see any of y'all. If you guys are on my main profile page, head over to Paranormal Consultant or Parapost. I can't see your comments. And for some reason, it's not updating. I see there's 4 people in the room. Let me say hello to you guys first, but seriously, head over to Parapost Network Central or Paranormal Consultant on Facebook, because I can't see you. I don't know why, but it's not updating. But I do see, again, Aaron Wing says Raymond wants us to smile and be happy and be there for others like he was. 100%. His heart was huge for this community. I couldn't agree more, Aaron. Could not agree more. Dina's here. Hey, Dina. Long time no see. Miss you, Dina. My brother AJ Capasso traveling down to Florida. He was over there. And Tanner, we can see you. That's a terrible thing. I wouldn't say that too much. Where was it? Yeah, AJ's down in Florida. He's speaking at some kind of event. So huge shout out to you, AJ. Safe travels to you and Tammy. Let's see. Bill's here. What's up, Bill? Bill says, hey, Matt, I believe there is more than this. Couldn't agree more. 100%. Couldn't agree more. My brother Marcus, I see he's joining from somewhere else. Marcus Weller from right there. What's up, Marcus? Another one, long time no see. Our sister Renee. Thanks, Renee. I appreciate you sharing out. Again, folks, if you are still on my main profile under Matt Barron, please head over to Paranormal Consultant or Parapost Network Central. For some reason, that feed on that side, from what I can see, it's not updating. I don't know why it's not, and I can't see any of your guys' comments unless I keep refreshing the page. I don't understand. Oh, another one of those wonderful things. Let's see. My brother Jeff Matt, just met him. What's up, Jeff? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're okay. I really hope you're okay, Jeff. Jeff's been dealing with a lot himself, too. Jeff, I just want you to know, brother, I've been thinking about you and been praying for you. Hopefully you're safe. You're doing okay. Obviously, I hope you're safe if you're watching. Renee says, death should be celebrated. The reunion on the other side will be amazing. 100%. 100%, Renee. Couldn't agree more. Let's see. Jeff says it's been a tough week. Renee, great comrade on the other side. 100% waiting for us. He's saving seats for us at the bar. I fully believe that. I 100%. Which, by the way, Renee, guys, stick around. I have actually a funny story that I have to tell you guys, and it's about our brother Raymond. You'll understand here in a minute. And Pam says, hello. What's up, Pam? How are you? Again, if you guys are on, one more time, if you guys are watching on my page, my actual Matt Barron, switch over to Paranormal Consultant or Parapost Network Central, please, because it's not updating the comments. I don't know why. Let's see. Now go over to this side. Dina says, miss you as well. Much love to you, Dina. I miss doing these. I miss doing these shows. I'm so out of practice. Marcus says, this is a big topic. There is so much more to death than what we know. We're all scared to die. But the reality is there's so much better after we do. I agree. But let's touch on a couple of things. First and foremost, I want to hit what Renee said. That should be celebrated. The reunion on the other side will be amazing. You know, I think, and we spoke about this at in Kentucky. Raymond wanted more of a party. He wanted more of a celebration of life, and that's what a lot of these funeral homes call this: is a celebration of life. I'll be honest. I'm going to say this on record. I do not want any of you guys crying if, God forbid, something happens to me. I already told the Wicked Queen. I already told Angel. I want my life to be celebrated. I want a party. I want people drunk. I want bad decisions made. And I want people looking back on my funeral going, crap, I got drunk. That's what I want. And actually, to be honest with you, huh? Oh, okay. Sorry, the Wicked Queen sent me a text message. I was like, excuse me. But I already told them I want a party. And, you know, I think Mama Newsom, it was Mama Newsom or Kyle that said to me, Raymond would want a party. It was Mama. And to be honest with you, that's why I wore this. If you guys watched the video, you saw me in a blue shirt. This is it. This is Bigfoot with Nessie. That's what I want, people. I'm saying that right now. Me, on the record, I do not want anybody in black. I don't want people crying. I want people crying because they're laughing. That is what I want. I'm going to say that right now. But yeah, Marcus, you're absolutely right. There is so much more. There's so much more out there. There's something else that will happen. We just don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's why it's so important to be in this field. Is we're trying to find that. We're trying to find out what is actually going to happen. And we're trying to find that answer. And like I said, I think that's why this is so important to us. And it's important to talk about. It's important to talk about. Renee says the fear of death is human construct with a little religion. Fear-based tactics placed in. True. I believe that. I believe that 100%. To be honest, it's weird. I'm afraid of death. Me personally, I'm afraid of death, but at the same time, I'm not. Number one, because I have a list of people that are going to be on my, I'm going to come back to. And I know some of you may even, in the comments here, in the audience, you guys may be a part of that list. So be ready. But at the same time, I'm not done. I'm not done yet. I've said for the past about 20 years, I've been doing this, that for me, I'm actually jealous of those who have passed on. And it's not like I'm going to sit here and do something proactive about it. I'm not going to do anything proactive. I'll just put it that way for Facebook and YouTube's sake. I'm not going to be proactive about that. But at the same time, if it happens, it happens. There's one thing, if you're dealing with any type of death or anything lost at this moment, let me hopefully help you out a little bit. In my 20 years, I've realized and I've seen people that are completely healthy pass away, people that are very sick pass away. I've seen people that are extremely sick get better and then pass away. I've even seen and heard about children passing. All of it very heartbreaking. But think about it. What is the rhyme or reason behind this? Yes, medical science has come a hell of a long way, and we can sit here and speculate all we want. But the way I look at it is, for us humans, for what we do and when we live, when we breathe, when we wake up every morning, I had to refresh the other page, sorry. Again, if you were on my Matt Barron page on Facebook, please go to Paranormal Consultant or Parapost Network Central. It's not updating, it's not loading. I have to keep refreshing it just to make sure. So I see Oh my gosh, Pam. Hey, Pam. Pam Harris is in the room. Hey, Pam. Long time. Miss ya. My brother Ron from our RRLC Paranormal. Another one of our Canadian family members. What's up? Again, guys, if you, and Pam, I'm doing okay. I'm here. I'm surviving. Pam, I can never say your last name. But again, folks, head on over to Paranormal Consultant or Parapost Network Central. For some reason, my stream on my page is just right now. But yes, it does suck. But when you wake up every day, it's like playing the lottery. Once you play the lottery every day, you play the same numbers, eventually your numbers will be called. And to me, that's kind of like life. We wake up every day trying to do the same thing, trying to do the same thing over and over. We try to live our lives better and better. We try to make the best out of every situation. We're playing that lottery. And eventually our number's going to get called. And there's not a thing we can do about it. I mean, if you think of it that way, that makes a lot of sense. Why are athletes just dropping? Why do kids pass away when they do? Why do things happen? Call it fate, call it intervention, divine intervention, call it cursed, whatever you want to call it. But the fact of the matter is, it happens. And when it does, there's nothing we can do. When it's our time, it's our time. I don't care if you're religious. I don't care. I don't care your religious preferences. Unless you're atheist and nothing happens, we need to talk privately. But the fact is, again, when our number's called, nothing we can do except celebrate. Enjoy that time that we spend with that individual, with that person. Short or as long as it has been. Prime example, and just because it's recent, our brother Raymond. One of the first things I thought of at that funeral home when I saw him was I was kicking myself. I was kicking myself because I wanted to see him face to face. I wanted one of these famous hugs of his. I also wanted to flip him off and pick him up. I told him I was going to pick him up and carry his ass around. I couldn't do that. I mean, I could have, but that would have been kind of awkward. But it hurt me. I was tearing myself up for it. But you know what? It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant. I wasn't supposed to meet him face to face. It sucks, but it is what it is. And again, folks, please, if you are dealing with a loss, please take a little solace in knowing that what I just said. Every day we play that lottery, and eventually our number will get called. And when it does, nothing we can do to stop it. That doesn't mean live your life in fear. That means make the best out of every interaction. Like Raymond. Make every interaction, every relationship, every conversation memorable. And then you live with no regrets. It took me a while, but I don't have any regrets. I don't have any regrets. If you know me on a personal level, or if you met me, you know I will tell you 100% how it is, no matter what. You will never question where you stand with me. And there's a reason for that. I don't want anybody coming through and thinking, oh, did he actually care about me? Did Matt actually think I was a good person? Yes. I will tell you. I will tell you 100%. If I call you family, you're family to me. If I call you brother or sister, that's what it is. That's exactly how I think of you. And I want that because when I'm gone, I don't want anyone to wonder where they stood with me. Marcus, back to the long neck subject. Bud Light, MGD. Miller, give me a Miller. I'll be all right with that. Or even, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not a Miller. Maybe a Yuengling. Give me a Yuengling. That'll work. Dina says we are scared of the unknown. Absolutely, Dina. We are. We are. And, that's one thing I love about the paranormal field. We're starting to get a basic idea of what is going on after we pass, but nobody knows for sure. Nobody knows for sure. And that's what I really, really love about this field is we're always learning. We're always learning, and everyone's theory is correct. You cannot disprove any theory because I can sit here and tell you every spirit is purple. Prove me wrong. Jeff, when it's over, it's over. Move on to the next adventure. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe that is right. Maybe that's 100% right. Maybe once we pass, this is a new subject, a new chapter in our existence. Ron's back. And Pam switched. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, like I said, I don't understand. Looks like there's some more people over on my page. I see Dom. What's up, Dom? And I'm gonna call it as it is. The lovely Glenda. That was you guys will understand. Guys, if you again are over on Matt Barron's side, please switch over to Parapost Network Central or Paranormal Consultant. Your comments are not updating. I don't know why. I have to keep refreshing my personal page. So if you want your comments seen, come on over. Renee, I was afraid of death until I had 2 near-death experiences. Jesus. It changed my whole outlook. I thank Spirit for those 2 episodes. Yeah, 100%. I've been close a couple of times myself. Shouldn't I? Just put it that way. November wasn't my time. Still here. Thank God for that, Ron. Pam, sometimes our number is meant for something else. 100%. Someone named Lori is here. Hey, Lori. There she is. There's Glenda. I've never been afraid of death, but having near-death experiences do help calm you down. True. And look at death peacefully. It's weird. It really is. When you deal with death for so long, it's odd. It really is odd. It's almost comforting. It still hurts. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's just part of the healing process. It'll help you. Jonathan Myers, my brother. Crossover Paranormal Society. He's over on YouTube. What's up, brother? You guys need to check him out. He's a good old boy. Oh, sorry, Pam. We may have guided help. Someone talk. Exactly. And see, that's the one thing, folks, I do like about this community in this field is whether you're Parapost, whether you're whatever network you're with, we all come together. We all work together. We all support each other. And that's something that I really noticed a lot with Raymond when he passed. I've met more people in the past 2 weeks than I have in the past 2 years. And it's because of him passing. And that's just him. I wanted to tell you guys about this instance. So as most of you know, and yes, I'm going on a tangent, my show, but as most of you know, Mackenzie, aka the Wicked Queen, Raymond has dubbed Pinkie Pie. She's been known by Pinkie Pie for a long time, a very long time. I mean, it was to the point where even like Mama Newsom and the family knew her as Pinkie Pie. Not even the Wicked Queen. They knew her as Pinkie Pie. Well, the other night, her and I were sitting. I was thinking about actually this episode, what I wanted to do and how I wanted to talk about it and how I wanted to bring this topic up. And I couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to do it. And we're sitting there just talking. We were watching YouTube. I forget what exactly we were watching, but that's irrelevant. And we have these LED lights that go all around our bedroom. I know some of you may have seen them on Facebook. I posted pictures of them. And they were set to a blue color. Kind of like what I got behind me here. Kind of like my boy. And all of a sudden, they turned to pink. And I mean pink. That's more purple, but right kind of in pair there. Like a bright pink. And I looked at her, she looked at me and she goes, I don't have the remote, because they're remote activated. And I was like, are you serious? I was like, do you have them on like audio or some kind of like automatic change? She said, no. We both took a deep breath and we looked and went, Raymond. It had to have been, because they've never done that before. They never did that before. She's had them since Christmas. And this happened. So we completely 100% feel like it was Raymond messing with us. There he is. The Fedorable one has arrived, folks. Scott Morton, my brother. Warren Area Society of Paranormal WASP. What's up, brother? How are you doing today? But yeah, people. I just updated, and I see another brother of mine, Aaron Hoffman, in the chat. Oh crap! Not this nut job again. Yeah. Again, I'm gonna put this in the chat for everybody. I don't know why, but I'm gonna put it over here too. If you are interested and you want to come up and talk about what your thoughts on death are, there you go. This is open forum. This is open for everybody. I don't care. You can come up. Let's talk about it. I hate talking to myself. I don't know how you guys listen to me. Aaron, I hope you're feeling better, brother. Aaron's been battling with some illness. Hope you're feeling better. I know you said you were worn down. Checking in with him periodically. But I just wanted to come on here, though, and just let you guys know and just talk to everybody. It's, first and foremost, this episode has been long overdue. I don't even remember, when was the last time? Does anybody know? Does anybody know when the last episode on death was? It's been over a year, I know that. But the fact is, death, in a sense, should be celebrated. I was listening to, once in a while, I listen to this Christian radio that's here in town. And I was listening to this pastor. I don't remember his name. And even if I did, I'm not going to tell you guys because that's not right. And he was scaring the living hell out of people with death. Like Wrath of God type stuff. And I started thinking to myself, I said, that's not right. Why would you do that? Why would you sit there and try to scare the crap out of your listeners? Matt, I think about 2 years ago, we talked about this. Was it really that long, Pam? Pam Harris said it was about 2 years ago? Wow. Yeah, it's been definitely long overdue. If it was, thank you, Pam. Appreciate that. Been a rough week. Been at the ER since this morning. Fedora, do I need to come up there? I'm going to come up there, Fedora. I swear, I'm going to come up there. I'm going to make sure you're Fedorable. Are you okay, though? But, hold on a second. Here we go. There he is. What's up, Sicky?
Not much.
And by the way, folks, he knows I'm just picking. It's brotherly love. It's what we do.
Right.
He knows I love him. Pam saying hello to you. But yeah, I'm going to finish what I was talking about, and then we'll talk with our brother here. Only if you want to see my butt hanging out of the gown. Ooh. Getting ideas. You're only 3 hours from me, Fedora. But no, I just couldn't believe this. This Christian minister was basically bashing people and scaring the hell out of them about death. Listen, I'm a Christian, and I know, Aaron, you've got some background in religion yourself with Christianity.
Right.
But I'm sorry, shouldn't we shouldn't we not just prepare? We should be preparing people for that. We should be preparing people for what comes next. We should be preparing them and relaxing them and calming them down and pretty much consoling them about death, not scaring the hell out of them. Let's say for all intents and purposes, the Christian religion is 100% right. And before you get on me, I am a Christian ordained minister. I am a Christian myself. So, well,
yeah, I get it. I mean, you're just trying to set the tone for the discussion.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. But but me personally, I'd be more. I want to get people excited about that. I don't want to make them afraid of death. I want you to embrace it. When it's your time, let's go.
Right.
I mean, I was disgusted. I actually had to turn that off. I really had to turn that off. Jeff Matt, getting ready to step off. Stay in touch. You too, brother. God bless you. Much love to you, Jeff. Uh-oh. We got a sister in the background. There's Renee. Hey, Renee.
Hi, guys.
But yeah, that's I sorry. I had to get that out. That was disgusting in my opinion. For a Christian network to be playing that is disgusting.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, it depends on, okay. For one, there's a couple of things to look into here. One is contact. Another is to, realize that whether you're for Christianity or not, and it applies to basically any other religion around the world, is you are going to have some people who are going to look at it from one of two ways. One is they can either come at this with the Candyland marshmallow sugar-coated BS, or they can come at you with the truth. Now, when they go at it from the perspective of the truth, a lot of times people get really caught up in the classic hellfire and brimstone technique, which does serve a purpose, but it has to be tempered with, when it comes to, like, in Christian circles, a lot of people go at it with the hellfire and brimstone technique, but they don't talk about the other side, which is that there is a hope, that there is, salvation through Jesus. You also have to keep in mind that sometimes people take the hellfire approach in such a way that it makes you feel like that if you're not this perfect, or if you're not this way, you're screwed, and yet there is nothing in the Bible that says that anybody can ever be that way. And this is something that I just heard somebody talk about recently that I really appreciate, and it sticks out of my head, and it's something I'll be talking about on my future show in the next day or two. Scripture is what defines the church, not the other way around.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and
like I don't even have to say anything.
That's why I love having Aaron around. But and that I was actually just talking to this individual at work. I'm not gonna mention his name, just because it's irrelevant. But that was one thing I because he asked me about my tattoo. There you go. Can't twist my arm that much, but I have paranormal consultant on my arm, and he was asking about it, and then he talked to me about religion, and we started. That was a slippery slope. But one thing I told him, I said, to me personally, I don't care who it is. I'm going to talk to anybody and everybody. I will accept everybody. To me, I don't care whether, like, the Wicca Queen. Obviously, she's Wiccan. I love her. I care about her. Her religion doesn't matter to me. Even as a Christian, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'll hang out. I'll talk with the low lives. I'll talk with the scum of the people that nobody wants to be around. Why? Because that's what Jesus did. That's 100% what Jesus did. He didn't sit here and he went to the church, but what did he do? He raised hell.
Well, the interesting thing about all that is two things. One is when he went to the church to try to correct a lot of bad theology, which is something that, is still a problem even today. The other thing is that when he was sitting with the sinners, which used to just upset the Pharisees and Sadducees like you wouldn't believe. How can you sit with thieves and sinners and lawyers and tax collectors? And Jesus said, it's not the well who need the doctor. Therefore, I have come to save the law. Now, I will have to say this. When Jesus did sit with the sinners, he did it so that he could at least call them to repentance.
Yeah.
Now, whether they did or did not, that's a lot of those stories kind of get lost, so we don't really know what happened to all those people. There are a few notable mentions, like such as Zacchaeus and Nicodemus. Those were mentioned as having actual conversation, and they talk about their conversion. But again, it all comes down to it's your choice if that's the way you want to go. You can't force anybody. I can't force my wife to do it. So,
and that's something else him and I were talking about too. Is like, to me personally, I don't like the organized religion. And folks, I know you're probably sitting there saying, "Well, this isn't what the topic's about." Kind of is, but it's a tangent. But welcome to my show. But organized religion, to me, it's nice. It's good. It's nice to have people and good fellowship. Case in point, look at what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the paranormal, we have an organized community. And I say that organized term very loosely because if you've seen my show, you know better. It's great. But in every instance that I've read about the Bible and in all my theology research, it's a personal journey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to do exactly what is written 100% by the book, black and white. I don't. Why? Because it's a personal journey. It's how I feel. Yes, it's good to recharge. Yes, it's good to refresh and look into this stuff and all that great things. But to me, it's nothing but an instruction manual. I'm trying not to get myself in trouble here. It's more of an instruction manual. It's a how-to. It's what you should do. And to me, I don't have to go to church. If I don't feel that need to go to church, I don't need to.
No, because what does it say in the Bible? More than two people are in presence with each other. What are you? You are in church.
Right.
Right now, we're doing what some Christian people will say, iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're building each other up. We're expressing and maybe giving somebody else who has questioned maybe something, hope in something higher than themselves.
No, I mean, Aaron knows me by now, and I'm sure Renee, you know too. We could sit here for hours and just go to town with religion and probably get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah.
Well,
to quote Margaret Thatcher. Oh yeah, the Iron Lady. I have a lot of respect for this woman. I may not like everything she did or everything that she stood for, but I can respect her in the fact that you knew where she stood. And she said, if your goal is to be light, and let me see if I can actually pull that up because I wrote it down. And I was just like, that is so on point for everything.
While you're looking for that, brother,
yeah,
it's funny when someone says Margaret Thatcher to me. Two things happen. It's like, oh shit, and I get the same look that everybody else gets when I say I have an idea. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god. Which God bless Brian for putting up with my ass for as long as he has.
Well, I think because in Canada, he doesn't have a whole lot of legal wiggle room to shut us up.
This is fair. Real quick, Pam says, "Which had time to come on. Much love and light. Love to you, Pam. Great seeing you again." Bridget's in the room. Says Renee and Matt. Hello, hello. Hey, Bridget.
Hey, Bridget. Nice. That's my sister.
I love Bridget. Bridget's really cool. Which actually, Renee, we're gonna have to chat here about in a little bit. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy this news. Aaron, obviously you want to hear this too. Bridget said, "Love you all. I unfortunately can't stay long because I needed a nap before work." I feel that. I'll try to watch later. Stay amazing. Love you, Bridget. Much heart, big hearts. And long time no see. I want to welcome back to the chat here our brother Nando. Nando from across the pond. What's up, Nando?
Yep.
I always butcher his name, so I'm not even going to attempt it.
So now that we got Nando in here, I mean, Nando might actually, I don't know, he might appreciate this, he might not, being over in the UK. But again, this is from Margaret Thatcher, and this is the quote that she said, and I actually have a lot of respect for it. If you set out to be liked, you'll be prepared to compromise on anything at any time, and you will achieve nothing.
100%. 100%.
Agreed.
That was less painful than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have like a guilt trip going on here. But no, and that is 100% true. And you know what? Since we are speaking of death, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you guys were in the room when I said this, but I leave every interaction like it's my last. I always try to let people know where I stand. Mm-hmm. So God forbid if something were to happen, you guys all know. Everybody in this room watching, whether it's now or in the future, hi from the past if you're watching from the future. But don't mind the dad jokes. It's been how long has it been since I've done an actual live? So bite me, bite me or fight me, whatever you want to hear. But I want to make sure when I go, each and every one of you know where you stood with me, right? 100%, without question. And one thing, and I love our brother Raymond, but at the same time I freaking hate him because he's brought so many people together. Mm-hmm. My friends list, Renee, you and I have gotten closer.
Yep.
All the fans, Jeff Matt was another one. I'm trying to get with the mechanics to get in closer with them, get to know them a little bit better. All of the Newsom family, I've met so many new people thanks to him. I want to live like him. I want to be that example that he was. No matter what your background, no matter where you're from, you knew exactly what Raymond was in his mind. You may not. He was dangerous, just like me when he got a thought process, but you knew exactly where you stood with him. I want to be just like that, and I think we all should. That's why I want to start reconnecting with people. I want to start, like Nando, for example. Put it out there. Nando and I were talking about getting on and doing just this, just hanging out, talking, just like old times. I'd love to do that with people. The question is do they really want to? And you know what? Don't care if I put it out there and they don't want to. That's up to them. That's up to them. I don't care. At least I tried.
I mean, that's what I came up with what I came up with, saying, what would Raymond do? That's when I get up in the morning. What would Raymond do?
That needs to be. You know what? We need to make merch with that. And I'm just gonna say this: if somebody's in the audience that has control of something, and you know what I'm talking about, Bridget, we need to do what would Raymond do merch.
But there's a problem with that. Because for those of us who really knew Raymond, that may not be a good idea.
Yes.
Well, but here's the thing, though. We keep both sides of him always in our mind. So it's, what would Raymond do?
I cannot afford bail right now.
That's why we have GoFundMe.
I mean, exactly.
Okay,
all right. So maybe we don't do everything. Maybe we have to stop and practice the pause, right. And then say, "Okay, no, I'm not going to do that."
You know what? That'd be a hell of a GoFundMe, bail money for the paranormal. Yeah. That'd be fun.
Well, if we did that, we might actually be able to clear the national debt because a lot of us don't know how to stay out of trouble, anyways.
Yo. Bridget, I like what Bridget says here. Della is such an example, or is such an example to everyone. Knowing her is a privilege. Absolutely. And you know what's funny? Renee, I know you couldn't be there. Aaron, I know you couldn't be there. Most of us in the chat couldn't be there. I'm going to tell y'all something. That funeral home was an experience that I have never in my life experienced. I've been to more funerals than I'm ashamed to even say. I hate, I've been to so many of them. I've never heard so much laughing and so much comfort from a funeral before, from a service. When I tell you guys this, this will put it into perspective. I was in a room full of Raymonds. The Newsom family is 100. They're all like him. Mm-hmm. Especially Michael. Michael looks exactly like him. It scared the hell out of me. I turned around and there he is. I'm going, But that right there should be everyone's. To me, that should be the mindset.
I mean, I have a story I could share that not many people know, that only know that between me and Bridget. I called. Well, actually, Bridget actually called me to check because she said that she was gonna call and just say, hey, that they got there okay. And I said we were chit chatting, and she goes, "You can't be there." And I said, "But I'm there." And she goes, "Do you want me to pass by him just so you could say goodbye?" Because I know it's hurting that you couldn't physically be in that room with everybody.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, you have to. I don't know what the rules are. I said I don't want to step on anybody's toes." I said, "Of course." And here comes Della, right by Bridget. Della says, "Hey, Renee, how are you, honey?" Grabs the phone and pushes people up out of the way and brings me right up so I could say goodbye. So I could see Raymond that one last time and say, "I love you, brother. See you on the other side."
I was wondering. I did see that interaction. I saw Della grab a phone, but I was like, okay, well, maybe it's a family member.
I will forever be indebted to Della for that. And another thing, just a side conversation with her, checking in a couple days later. "Are you good? Everything's good?" "Yes." She goes, "You have a mama now. You have another mama." And I said, "I would be honored to call you mama." There was that. And then she goes, "Just felt like you needed to know. He's home." And she sent a picture of the box with his ashes in it. And she goes, "Do you think he'd like this box?" And I looked at that, and the first thing I saw was just ripples of water, because Raymond would just flow where he needed to. And if something got in his way, he'd roll over it, under it, around it, whatever he needed to do.
Yep.
And then
sometimes cut it out.
Yeah. And then afterwards, I got done with the conversation with her. I went back to go show my husband, who was pretty close with Raymond. And I looked again at that box and I said, "Oh my God, it's branches. It's the tree of life." I said, "It's the tree of Raymond, and how Raymond has branched out and touched all of us."
Yep.
I said that it's perfect. It's perfect.
Which, again, folks, leads us into this topic, death.
Mm-hmm.
No matter, yes, it stings. It does sting. I'll never forget. And again, I can't thank you enough, Renee. Renee, by the way, if you didn't know, Renee was the one who told me. Scared the hell out of me. I thought it was a really sick April Fool's joke. I really did. But I can't thank you enough, Renee, for letting me know.
You're welcome.
It does suck. It stings like hell.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's a Raymond, if it's a brother, sister, cousin, friend. Doesn't matter. It stings. But the sting will eventually fade. Yes. And then it turns into laughter. And that's something that is a huge testament. Being in that room. I know, people have thanked me, and I thank the Global Ghost Hunt for setting this up. And Aaron, again, huge thank you to you, brother. Aaron, by the way, if you guys didn't know, Aaron was the one who hosted for us for that live. Couldn't have done it without you.
Raymond.
Exactly.
Like I said, what would Raymond do?
Mm-hmm.
But
Raymond would have done the same thing.
Did I have an idea?
I don't know. And my phone is turned off, so that's weird.
And my camera turned off a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yes, I'm just going to say hi, Raymond.
Raymond?
I just say hi.
Not now.
Exactly. You, Raymond. Here, Raymond, for you. Fuck you.
I do want to just kind of say that, because I've kind of skated on it ever since his passing, but I've never really actually talked about it. And this, I'm not trying to stir any trouble up here, but I have very high hope of where Raymond is, because the night that he passed, my podcast, Rebel Faith, was the last one that he was watching, and it was the last one that he shared out. And I didn't realize this until several days later when I actually went to look at the insight. Mm-hmm. And he was the last one to share it out. And that show broke 1,500 in less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had any episode make it past 300 in a week. And the reason why I bring that up is, regardless of where you sit spiritually, in your faith, whatever, I do feel that it's important that when you have someone that's as close to you, and as I mentioned at the service, I didn't know Raymond for very long, but it didn't take long to become a friend with him.
Nope.
And the one thing I will say is, you never know what was going on in those last moments. And that's why it's so important that you share your connection with that person. You make the connection with the people. You let them know. You let people know how you feel about them, how important they are to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because in those last moments, anything can happen.
Yep.
And there will come a day where, we're all going to see each other again.
Mm-hmm.
And I would want to see him and be like, hey, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm kicking his ass.
Well, I kind of would too, but then I'm afraid that if I did that, I would probably blow my chances. So, and I'm already on thin ice as it is. But Raymond was important to a lot of us.
Yep.
And every time I look at that episode and I look at those numbers, I'm always going to think of Raymond.
Yep.
Mm.
And I'm always going to think about how, whether he agreed with me or not, whether he agreed with anybody or not, if he said he was going to support you, that's exactly what he did.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
Couldn't agree more, Tanner. And actually, it's funny. There's something I want to say, but before I do, here's another face I haven't seen in a hot minute. Keith, what is
My
up,
brother.
Keith?
My
Been a
brother
while
from
since I've seen you.
Nebraska.
Been a while since I've seen you on one of my shows. Nice seeing you again. We need to talk again, Keith. We've only had, I think, only one show together. Keith and I have, and it was
And me. That was the game show.
That's right. With the paranormal, which that was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
I actually was going back through different media and stuff because I'm doing something. I did something, and some of the people know what I did. And I was looking through media that him and I shared back and forth, and when I started seeing all the What the Paranormal one, I was laughing my ass off of how much fun that was.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're not banned from Facebook yet.
We came close a couple of times.
I'm sure.
But one thing that you said, Aaron, that actually I was talking to this guy about, our other brother, Tanner. Tanner has a couple of shows and whatnot, and him and I recorded an episode not too long ago of Ghost Hunter Advice. And the one thing him and I said on that show, on the recording, was even though him and I differ with a lot with how we investigate, the equipment we use, stuff like that, that brings us that much closer. We have that respect for each other. And, I think that's a testament to most of this community. Aaron, prime example, you and I don't agree on a lot of things, but you're still my brother. We still have respect for each other, and we give each other that respect. And there is nobody in this room, I can promise you, that investigates the same way. We all have our different beliefs. We all have our different backgrounds. We all investigate differently. We all think differently. But you know what? That thought process and that respect really shines. And I'll be honest, yes, death sucks. We've already said this. It does suck. But you know what? Just the fact that I have that community, I could go right now and I'd be happy, because I know the future of the paranormal community is in damn good hands. Because of my family. I hope it does. I hope I'm here for a while, because I got a lot of ideas that I'm going to torture you all with. But just saying. Oh my gosh. I got to give a huge shout out to this. Auntie Mama. See, I swear, this is what he's doing. He has to be doing this. I haven't seen Auntie Mama in a long time. If you haven't seen Auntie Mama, go check her out. She, just like Jonathan Myers, good old people. Good people right there. Go check her out. Like and subscribe to Auntie Mama.
No offense, but I don't think there's anybody out there that's as chill as Jonathan Myers.
Oh, God, no.
Just that. I've only seen that boy skittish once.
Mm-hmm. It was still funny, though.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Let's see. Nando says, I only ever got to talk to Raymond online, but he made the time to always talk to. Absolutely. He always did.
Mhm.
Always supported my podcast. All he ever did was show love to everyone. He is 100% a true gent. Fly high. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I still have this theory, and Mr. Brian John has said it a couple of times.
Zipper check.
He swears that, which that's a whole nother story. He said Raymond must have had like 9 or 10 or 8 to 10 screens up with everyone's podcast at every given. That man was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The only other person that came close to that was Liz.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her yet. I haven't seen Liz on here yet. Keith says, gotta jump for a minute. Okay, no worries.
He'll be back. He's in the truck.
Yeah, no worries.
Driving.
But the fact is, folks, is the bottom line is this, yeah, it sucks. It does.
It does.
But as you can see, 3 prime examples. You'll get through it.
Yep.
And what's really great about what we have going here on Parapost Network Central, even online, it makes it that much easier. Doesn't matter what network you're with, the community itself. You'll get through it, and you will meet some amazing people. Amazing people. I have said this so many times, and I know some of you may have heard me say this, but I don't think everybody understands it. You guys are closer. I'm closer to each and every one of you than the people in my own town. The people I work with, the people that I grew up with. I'm closer to each and every one of you guys. I mean that. When
You have my sympathy. Because nobody should be that close to friend to me.
that goes both ways, brother. That's a two-way street. But the fact is, a lot of people have thanked me personally for going to Kentucky, for setting up the live stream, for helping out and doing my part. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Raymond would have done the same for any of us. If it was me, he would be here.
It would have been rain, sleet, snow, tornado, hurricane, tsunami. He just would have got and just drove.
Mhm.
Whatever it is that he needed to do, he would have done it without a second thought or an inkling. If he would have been out the door with what he needed to bring and just went.
100% he would. And I could not do it because I've seen Mama Newsom and a bunch of others, pop into my chat, show me love. I could not go. It was just one of those things where if I went, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't. And I'm actually looking for something right now, but I want to know while I'm looking for this, what you guys truly think of death. If you could describe your thought on death in a couple words, what would it be? I know I got a little deep there.
Well, it's a question that's hard to answer, and I only say that because for those of us that, whether we're still in the paranormal or we've left it, that was one of those questions we tried to find answers to even in the field, and we still cannot get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that's kind of a hard question to ask, but I do believe that somewhere down the line, we've managed to make death the one point in our lives where we start to reflect on what people mean to us instead of while they're alive. Why is it that we wait till somebody's gone before we finally say, you really meant a lot to me?
Yeah.
You know, because we get caught up with all these stupid things in the world, with politics, with job, with bills, with petty feelings that really don't have any relevance on what's important. And we forget about the connections that we make. And Raymond made a lot of connections. And that's kind of the thing that I thought, what I was thinking about when I was, when we were doing the stream for his funeral, with all the connections, all the people that he reached out and touched. Now, and I'm not trying to piss anybody off here, but how many of you that were actually there connected with each other on a regular basis? How many of you actually told somebody, whether you know them well or not, hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm getting to know you. Do we say that enough, or do we just keep going on about our regular business, waiting for the next person to pass on before we say that?
I think there's a two part to that. Number one, no, we don't say that enough. 100%, we don't. Which is why I love what you say at the end of your shows, Aaron. Love that. That is the perfect thing to say at the very end of a show. No better outro. And for those of you who don't know, Aaron, I want you to say it, because you know, I can't say it better than you. Your sign off. Your sign off.
So at the end of every show, I always say, be smart, be safe, and be kind to one another, because you never know. Your one act of kindness might change somebody's life.
Exactly.
If there's no better definition of Raymond, I don't know what is.
Mm.
And that is the way it should be. And that's why I said, for me personally, I want to make sure you all know where you stand with me. If I call you brother, if I call you sister, if I say I love you, I freaking mean it. I'm not saying it just to make myself feel better or to look better. I'm saying it because I mean it.
Right.
I'm one of those, Aaron, you've known me long enough. I don't pull punches. I'll tell you exactly how it is. I don't care. This is why I love working with Aaron, because we stir the hornet's nest up.
Yep, we certainly do that.
But at the same time, you're 100% right. That there was a lot of people there. A lot of people. And what I find hilarious, I shouldn't say hilarious, it is interesting to me. You guys did see a lot of people at that service. There were a lot of people. What you didn't see was the people behind me. There were people standing behind the camera watching the live stream. They were watching you watch the service. I don't know what it was, but that was just, to me, that was perfect. It couldn't have been any better, because we were there to celebrate what he loved. Mm-hmm. And what he loved was his family. He loved the paranormal, and he loved these shows. Everything was represented. And I agree 100%. We don't tell people this enough. We wait until somebody passes and they're like, oh yeah, I was so close. No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
You weren't close to the individual. And God, I don't want to call anybody out, but at the same time, why are you waiting? Why wait to give somebody a call or shoot them a message?
I mean, even better yet, if you had a disagreement, why are you letting the disagreement keep you apart? Because how many times have we lost somebody and go, oh, well, we stopped talking because we didn't see eye to eye on this, or we were in the middle of, a petty argument.
I will tell you this, folks. Y'all know I have a lot of respect for our brother, Brian John. I do. Him and I have gotten into some heated debates about things. We talk it out. Aaron, you and I, we haven't gotten into an actual heated argument, I don't think, but you and I have come close a couple of times, I think. Mm-hmm. I still care about you. You're still my brother. There's a lot of people in here. I know, Nando. Nando's a good example. Nando and I just kind of fell apart for a while. He reached out to me because I'll be honest, I didn't think he wanted to speak with me. I'm going to poke the bear. I know it's a two-way street, but I'm not going to reach out to somebody who doesn't want to be reached out to.
True.
I'm not gonna beat the dead horse. If somebody wants to come talk to me about a dispute, like Nando did, I'll give you that time of day.
Right.
I'll respect you. I will respect the fact that you want to talk about it, and I will come at it from a neutral standpoint. We hold on to grudges, I think, way too much, and then when it comes time to, you can't actually say something to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I'm still looking for that picture. That's how much him and I went back and forth. But when it comes down to it, and we can't say something to somebody, that's when the regret comes in. And I think it's guilt.
You'll never heal if you wait to bury the body to bury the hatchet.
Yep.
Well, here's
if you have that me and Raymond always talked about it before our show, and then we'd be on, of course, for an hour, and then we would be on for like another 2 hours afterwards, talking. We always just said, like, I would bring up a situation or something, and he'd be like, so what's your gut telling you? What's your intuition telling you? What should you do? I'll reach out to that person. And Raymond goes, well, then reach out to that person. Because you're both probably at that same point going, well, should I go first? No. They're going to go. No. And at that point, 6 weeks may turn into 6 months. And then at that time, something happens. And then you're like, I wish I just listened when I needed to and did what I needed to. And who cares who went first, who goes last, whatever. That last Tuesday conversation that we had on our last show, we always said that, I love you, brother, love you, sister. Like he just went into a conversation that me and him had many, a year and a half ago. And it was just, he goes, but do you understand? Do you understand how much I care about you and I love you? And he goes, go get your husband, because I got to tell him the same thing, and that's a conversation that I will always treasure.
Well, I think it needs to be that way with literally every interaction. Mm-hmm. Like, one thing I always follow, and the Wicked Queen will tell you this, and so will Angel. When I say goodbye to somebody, I say it like it's the last time I'm gonna see them. I make sure they both know that I love them and I care about them. Mm-hmm. My daughter, same way. I want her to know where she stands. No matter if I'm upset with her or not, she knows that Daddy loves her, and I will do anything for her. I feel the same way with everybody here. There is not one person that I do not respect. And one thing I've noticed in this community, and for those of you who don't know, I don't say a lot, or I should say when I don't say a lot, I'm paying really close attention to things. I'm seeing the posts, I'm seeing the conversations. And what I notice is these individuals that say I should say something, that other person is thinking the exact same thing.
Exactly.
It's kind of like an intuition thing. You're connecting. When you think of somebody, oh crap, I should say this, or we haven't talked in a while, I wonder what they're up to. 9 times out of 10, they're thinking the same thing about you. So just reach out. React to it. Reach out.
Well,
don't deny that. Just go for what you feel.
Well, I had something come to me a while back, and that kind of goes along with this, and something that I've noticed recently in the field that a lot of people have, there seems to be a bit of a shift within the paranormal community. I'm seeing a lot of people leaving.
Yeah.
And a lot of it had to do with, personal issues and, whatever people want to say about, ego or falsifying evidence. Did 1,000 arguments about all of this. But the one thing I want to point out is that when it comes to all the things that people have, all these issues, I'm going to tell you the thing that I had come to my mind, and this is dealing from a Christian's perspective. The Bible says that we are not promised tomorrow.
Nope.
And right now, there is somebody sitting in some bathroom somewhere, getting ready to shoot up. He doesn't know that that's going to be the last time he's ever going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there is some 14-year-old kid staring down the end of a gun held by somebody who had beef with him, and he doesn't even know why.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there is somebody standing on a bridge trying to decide if they're going to make that one last step. Right now, there is a kid curled up in a corner saying, I don't know why this is happening. I'm a good boy. And he doesn't even know that hit that's coming is going to be the last thing he's ever going to feel.
Yep.
We don't know what's going to happen. So whatever issues you might have, whether it's in the paranormal field, whether it's in your family, whether it's in, it's going to be a little sensitive for some people, but even in politics, because we've been watching a lot of people saying, well, if you voted for this person, cut that family member off. No, don't do that.
No.
Love that person even more, regardless of what they feel. And that's how we need to be, because like, we've just been talking about earlier, everybody is waiting until somebody dies to let somebody else know how they really feel. Everybody is waiting until somebody dies to realize that all the grudges that they've been hanging on to have been pointless, because once that person dies, you can't resolve that issue anymore.
Nope.
And it doesn't even matter if you feel regret afterward. That is going to leave a hole in your mind.
Yep.
For the rest of your life.
Yep.
Because I just recently had some, well, I shouldn't say recently. I had a friend that I've known for a very long time. And this was somebody that used to date my wife before her and I got married. And things didn't go well between them. And her and I ended up getting together. And he hated my gut. He died. And he told me on the phone, I will never forgive you for this. I've been living with that for years. I've been living with the guilt that a girl that I used to date, and before I even met my wife, was murdered by someone that I thought was my friend. I've never been able to forgive myself for that. How much of this baggage are you willing to hold on to just to prove a point?
Exactly.
Is your point so important that you are willing to destroy everything, including yourself?
Yeah. I don't even know how to even top that one, but it's not worth it. And the one thing I will say is Aaron's absolutely right. If you have an issue with somebody, bring it to their attention, talk to them about it. Notice what I said, though. Talk to them. Have that respect. If they don't want to talk to you, that's fine. If you go on their Facebook or wherever and they blocked you, you tried. I will say there is a lot of people that don't get that closure from someone's passing. I'm going to tell you this as a consultant. This is serious consultant talk. But it doesn't matter whether you were at their funeral. It doesn't matter if you were with them at the time they passed. It doesn't even matter if you haven't seen them in 20 or 30 years. If you have something to say, trust me, sit by yourself in your car, in the woods, cemetery, wherever you're at. Sit by yourself and out loud say it. Say what you want to say to that individual. I promise you they will hear it.
No, they definitely will hear it.
I know they will.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. And for those of you who kind of are like, okay, I doubt this will be, I doubt that'll work. I'm telling you right now, I have done over 400, that's 4 and 2 zeros, cases, clients. 99% of them are residential. The family members that have lost a friend or a family member or even a pet that have had haunted their area, their home, once they say that, that's one thing I do the very last minute, right at the very end of the investigation, I get them that closure, that family. I tell them, I'm going to walk out, we have all the equipment off, you say what you need to say. Say what you need to say to that individual, and I can guarantee you will feel a lot better. You will feel a huge difference in that home. Every single one, and I'm not exaggerating, every single one that I have said that to, they look at me afterwards in tears and go, you're right. I'm telling you folks, do it. If you couldn't make it to Raymond's, whoever's funeral, and you want to say something, say it. Not for me, not for anybody else, not to like. Some of you may thought that what I said on my last live to Raymond was just for me to make myself look. No, I'm telling you right now, I'm saying that because that's how I met Raymond. I met Raymond in this studio. I met him like this, and I'm going to say goodbye like this, which is one reason why I didn't say anything at the funeral. Plus, I'm not going to follow Mama Newsom. There is no way in hell you're getting me to follow Mama Newsom. But
right,
do it in your own way.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you will feel better. Even if it is to apologize for something that happened, you will feel that much better. They will hear you. And you will know instantly whether you are forgiven by that or you're not. I am going to switch here in a little bit. I just saw another name that I haven't seen in a while, but I will be seeing this beautiful face very soon. And that is our brother, Scott Mathewson. This man is gorgeous. No. Love you, Scott. Paranormal in history. There you go. Aaron got it. I will be, he for some reason, he's a glutton for punishment. He asked me to be on his show again. That will be coming up soon. I can't wait. It's been too long, Scott. Love you, brother. But I want to show you guys something. This photo for the longest time haunted me after what happened. But I'll tell you what, it is a testament of not just regret, but the love that we have for each other. And I'm going to make this full screen here. Those of you may be wondering or thought that we were joking around. No, this is what Raymond sent me as he drove by. This is my hometown.
Drove by the exit to your place. Yep.
And he sent me this picture, and you can see it's on Messenger. I'm actually on Messenger. He sent it to me. This picture has meant more to me in the past 2 weeks than it ever has. Because number one, this is the closest I've ever gotten to him while he was still here. 2, he's an asshole. And Raven, if you're listening, brother, I'm sorry. Oh, we're tired. No, that's no excuse. I have coffee.
Don't worry, I got the same thing too when he was just, 45 minutes away from me. Oh, we're tired. I'm like, I can be there in 45 minutes. You're going to have dinner? I can go have dinner with you.
Right.
And what's funny is right off this exit, there's a McDonald's. There's like 3 different gas stations. They have coffee. You could have stopped, bitch. Love you, brother. But it also shows me how much he actually cared. The reason why I'm saying this is I didn't say, oh, you're near my exit. Look for Danville. I didn't have to say anything. He remembered. He literally sent this out of the blue. He was in Gettysburg, and he made it a point to make sure I got this picture. And what's funny is I know exactly which direction he's going, and I know exactly where that is. But that's the way, in my opinion, we should all be. These little acts of remembrance and paying attention to each other. I started doing something, and I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to make it my goal to see as many of you as I can. When I do, 2 things are going to happen. You're getting a big freaking hug. Aaron, I don't care. You're getting one. Where did I go?
There we are. We're back.
By the way, my hand. If you go back, my hands are right here. I didn't touch a thing. Raymond, bitch.
Oh, I will say this: if you think you're going to give me a hug, bring a step stool.
I'll jump. You're getting a hug. That's first and foremost. Each and everybody, you're just getting a hug. I don't care.
Otherwise, you're getting a face full of beach whale body.
Hold that thought. The other thing I'm gonna do is you're gonna have something that means something to me. We're gonna exchange something. It doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be expensive. Just something.
Yep.
The new. I know the kids, and actually now Raymond Senior, which he scared the hell out of me too. Imagine. Oh, you got it too?
Yeah.
I got out of the blue. I was about ready to go into this interview. I'll never forget it. I was going into a job interview right after Raymond passed, and I'm sitting outside of the parking lot, and I was having one last cigarette to try to calm my nerves because this was still pretty fresh. My phone goes off. You have a friend request from Raymond Newsom.
Yeah.
I dropped my phone. I was like, the fuck?
Yep.
I was scared at first, I won't lie. And then I got mad. I thought somebody like took advantage of his identity or something. And then I looked at the picture, I was like, oh, it's his dad. And it clicked on me. I'm like, oh wait, he was a junior. That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for me, it happened when I was still in bed and I heard my phone go off and I'm looking at him like, friend request from Raymond Newsom. All right. Wait, what?
Well, that was like the same thing too. That was scrolling through and I was sharing something because I have figured that I will take up the mantle of what Raymond used to do, was go and try and support everybody and share everybody out. So therefore, right. I figured I'm going to step in and do that. And I'm going to share something in Newsom Paranormal, and up here, like, there's a post. There's Raymond's face, and I'm going, what? Who?
Uh-huh.
What?
I saw that the day you called me too.
Yep.
And that's why I was like, we're getting some misinformation here. It wasn't until I saw Steve's video that kind of confirmed it for me.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they'll watch, but if everybody could, if somebody knows the mechanics, let them know I'm here to help them. I'm here for them. I've already told them this. They don't have to go through this alone. I know they were
good people.
I know they were there, and I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. But you do have my deepest condolences. But again, guys, you don't have to go through it alone. We are here for you. And I'm not just saying that as the consultant. I'm saying anyone over at Parapost, even the Global Ghost Hunt, I can 100% say the admin staff, we have your back. We will be there for you. Just reach out.
Yep.
Anything you need. But the fact is, getting back to the whole thing on death, it does suck. But don't regret a conversation you didn't have. Don't wait. But if you did wait, it's not too late. I know it sounds weird, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's
sounds
really
weird.
true.
Do it.
And if you've never investigated the paranormal before, I'm going to give you a heads up. Talking to yourself in pitch black gets a little awkward. But once you start talking and you start saying what you need to say, it'll feel like they're right there.
Yep.
There's a name I haven't seen. Somebody help me with this name. I love that name, but I can't say it. Scandrel on YouTube. That is a cool icon, I have to say.
Scandrel?
Oh, that sounds like a Nordic name.
I can't get over that. The profile picture, that is sick. can't show me anything shiny. This is what happens.
Shiny. Ooh.
Who
Keith's
says it
back.
has to be shiny?
Yeah, that's true.
Be anything.
Well, Scandro.
I mean,
whatever,
you're like that dog in what was that?
I got it the first time. Okay.
The Secret Life of Pet. When you're talking about that, oh, squirrel!
What was the name? Hammy from Over the Hedge.
Yep, that too. Yeah.
Yep. Although I think the capping just kind of is there anymore. It doesn't really affect me. But it'll affect everybody else if I don't have it. But the fact is, folks, I'm going to say this. This will be probably my last series or video on death. I can't really say much more. This is, I think, the third or fourth video I've done on death. If you haven't seen it, please go back. And Aaron and Renee will both attest to this. I never tell you to go back and look at my old videos, but watch the death videos. The reason why I do them is because it's fresh. It's usually right after someone has passed. Mm-hmm. My aunt, I think, was my first one I did, and a couple others. And it sucks. It really sucks. But I think we are all, the three of us, and a lot of people in chat, are living proof that you will get through it.
Yeah, you will.
And you'll get through it. You'll get through it so much easier and better with good people around you.
Yep. Good support always helps. You know, grief and death aren't an easy straight line from A to B. It's not. You have your ebb and flow.
Well, it's also important to keep in mind that when you're talking about this, be completely honest with yourself as well as those around you. Because if you hold anything back in yourself, you're only stopping yourself from having that kind of peace and closure.
Yep. Because you're not allowing that hole, that wound, whatever, able to scab over and toughen up. I mean, it's always going to be there, but it's going to be less of a battle to you wanting to sit there and go scratch it and have it start all over again.
Which is what I do a lot.
Same. Scab, but
It's itchy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that's something else. Anyway,
You might want to get that looked at.
I see it. It's right there. See it. Anyway.
Well, as long as you don't put the camera on it, I think we're all fine.
I've said this before. There's a reason why you see this and up. Anyway, the other thing I want to add to that too, folks, is let yourself cry. Let yourself have that emotion. Don't hide from it. You guys have seen me at my best. You've seen me at my worst. And especially in these past 2 weeks, you've seen me hurt. I did it for a couple of reasons. The main reason was because I want people to understand it is okay to be like that. It's natural.
Yep.
I did something today, and I'll finally say it. I did another video for Raymond. This one is specifically for Global Ghost Hunt. A limited amount of people have seen it. It was probably my favorite video, but my most hated video to make. I hated doing it, and it's not because I didn't want to do it. It's because of what it is. It was very, very difficult for me to make. But again, he would do the same for me. I had to stop so many times because I'll be honest, I was crying. It is okay to cry.
Oh, definitely. It's okay to cry.
It is okay. I don't care whether you're male, female, whatever you want to be called, speedboat, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's okay to cry. It's okay to show your emotions.
It's part of the process. You're going to be sad one day, cry one day. You're going to be angry and And if you're angry that day, go out, go throw some rocks in a pond, or go.
I'm glad,
You
glad you said pond,
do something. You know,
not the interstate.
Not the interstate. No.
No.
Or and don't go. You know, I'm not saying to go punch a wall and go break your hand or whatever. But if you have to go outside scream into a pillow, go do it. You're gonna feel better. But know that the next day is gonna be a different day.
Yep. And sometimes it changes per minute.
Mm-hmm.
When the day of, I was fine. The drive down, I was fine. Minus all the construction in West Virginia, which I asked Brian Clary, by the way. I said, is there any part of West Virginia that isn't under construction? He said no.
I mean, we went to Scarefest 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my God, the construction in West Virginia. Like, what? And that was 2 years ago.
Well, I was traveling down. As soon as I hit the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, as soon as I hit it, rain. Immediately. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Excuse me. And the rain just got more profound as I went through Maryland. As soon as I hit West Virginia, like literally, welcome to West Virginia, rain stopped, construction started. And it did not stop until I crossed over into Ashland. Once I crossed into Ashland, it was back to rain.
That's kind of how it is in Minnesota. We only have 2 seasons, winter and road construction.
Pennsylvania is not that much different, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to bitch about Pennsylvania construction anymore. I drove through West Virginia and I was like, ooh. It was literally next 3 miles construction. Okay, get to that 3 mile mark. Oh, another one started.
Yep.
It's like, and they're separate projects. I'm going, what the hell? Michelle, welcome, Michelle. But sorry, Michelle, you're jumping in right at the tail end, but please go back and watch. What I'm doing, I wanted to do this, guys, for multiple reasons. Number one, you've seen, like I said, the tough side of death with me personally, and I wanted to show you what the outcome is. And the outcome is always going to be, you're fine. Everything, you'll get through it. And in this case, better. Yeah, he's not here. Not saying he was replaced, but I've gained so many more family members. I can't even say friends. I've gained so many more family members. And in Renee, I had the same experience. I got adopted by Della. Mama said, you're mine. And I went, yes, ma'am. But even Kyle and Kent and all of them, the whole Newsom family basically adopted me. You will get through it. Mm-hmm. You do not have to get through it alone, though. There's always support. But anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody that's watched. I know a lot of people were on Matt Barron's side of it. If I didn't see your comment, I do apologize. I don't know what was going on, but Facebook's just been a little when it comes to the paranormal stuff. I don't know why, but let's just say to quote Mr. Brian John, there is some big news coming. If you know, you'll know. If you don't know, you will know. I'm just going to say that.
Zipper check.
I don't wear it. Never mind. But I wanted to come on live, and I want to thank you guys so much. Aaron, Renee, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for saving me from rambling, like I always like to do. I'm dangerous by myself. But if anybody is watching, please share out, because not for me, but just because somebody might need to hear it. Mm-hmm. Somebody may need to hear it, and I want you all to know that I care about each and every one of you that have watched this. I really do. I honest to God do. And if you need anything, reach out. You can reach out to Paranormal Consultant on Facebook, on YouTube, anywhere. I'm pretty much everywhere, I guess. I don't know. I have accounts I don't even know I had. I didn't even know I had an Instagram until about 3 months ago. I really didn't. Apparently I've had it for like 3 years. I had no clue. But just reach out. You can reach out at any given time. I know Renee and Aaron feels the same way. Where can they find you guys in case they want to reach out?
You can find me actually with Keith. You could find me at Cobra Paranormal. So you can find me there, or you can find me on my personal page. So I'm always somewhere. I'm some shows sharing out, same thing as Brother Raymond. So
Aaron, if
Yeah.
they want to reach out, if they dare to reach out, where can they find
Yeah,
you?
if you're feeling kind of brave, you can find me at That Weird Show on Facebook or YouTube, or you can also find me on Rebel Faith, Facebook and YouTube.
Yep. Both great shows.
Absolutely. I want to thank, obviously, Parapost Network Central. If you guys don't know what that is, welcome to the show. But seriously, go check that out. You'll find my show whenever it comes back, and many other amazing, amazing shows over there on Parapost Network Central on Facebook. Huge shout out to my Global Ghost Hunt family. We've got some big things coming, so I'd check them out. And go to Global. See, I got flustered. Look who just came in. But please go to globalghosthunt.com. Huge reminder, if you haven't already, Global Ghost Hunt, this is our 3rd year, and it is for free. There is no charge to join the Global Ghost Hunt this year. Go to globalghosthunt.com for more details. There's a whole bunch of things on there. There's merchandise. There's even something for our brother Raymond. There's a whole bunch of things. Go there, check it out, sign up today. If you're a team that has a location, great, sign up. If you don't have a location, sign up anyway. If you're a location, you want to try to get a team in there, sign up. We will do our best to help you. We ask if you try to, we'll help you a little bit. We'll help you, but reach out to your local area, though, first. But seriously, you do not want to miss it. And stay tuned on Global Ghost Hunt on Facebook, on YouTube, and everywhere else, pretty much, because we have some big news coming down the pipeline. Big things coming. So let's see what else. Oh, Health Empowers You, of course. Brian's here. I just remembered. Go check out healthempowersyou.net, guys. There is always something new going on there. I think they just came out with new merchandise, new cups. New cups I saw, new tumblers, and a bunch of different things. New drinks, new teas, new everything. Those guys are always putting up something new. I can't keep up. I can't. I need. This is where I need notes. I don't remember. But huge thank you to those guys as well. So, all right. Well, guys, I think there's only one more thing left for me to say. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. And as always, guys, happy hauntings.